I rush to go here as fast as I can. Put a mine here, and then you need to peek this. You get a kill. I don't know if I want to say 9 or 10 times, but it's like it's really, 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 really good and important to get a kill here. Such a powerful position like that, and a lot of people don't respect it enough. Because what will often happen here is some flanker, anything that goes here, they'll walk into that first, and then you place another one, either on this wall or here. And this way, like, you make it really, really difficult for them. You have to think that if they get hit by both of these, it's 250 damage. I think most people have been stuck on this point where some Widow is sitting here. Okay, so I want to go through what I do for Widow on each map. Walk through like the spots to play and like the angles you need to look to take. And of course, it's quite biased with how I play the hero and what I've learned. If you kind of don't have anything to go by, then maybe it's a good reference. So I'll start with the attack here, and I would sit up here and not peek until I know if they have Widow or not. And when I've decided that, then maybe I'll peek and shoot from here. But I don't stay there for long. I don't think, like, because the range is too far, you always have to think that she has this fall off now, and I don't know. You can kill someone there, but you can also be very disappointed that you barely don't kill them there. So I don't find that it's worth to stay there for too long. And then what I like to do is, and this depends kind of what they have. If they have a Widow and Hanzo and stuff, it's a little bit dangerous to sit here, even though I kind of do it anyway. And then you sit far back here and they can't really shoot you from down there. And what's good for sitting here, in my opinion, is usually the enemy tank will like to play behind the statue, and maybe even someone else like a Genji or something, and you want to force them out. Staying here, it forces them to be scared to be in a lot more places, and they have to really just stick right behind the statue there, and it just makes it easier to open up the map initially. So you have some phase here where you're usually shooting, and then either at some point you get a pick, or like your team can advance here. And if your team, like, if the enemy tank is forced back from there, it's really good. Or whatever it is. If you get some kind of way to advance, then I usually move on. I usually put my mine there. Because what will happen, usually, when you've pushed in here, someone can try to flank out this hotel, and it's a big problem. A lot of people have been killed by some flank from the hotel like that. And also, if you can, hit it like that, so they won't see it. And then, like, obviously you can also play up here and stuff, but I prefer that I stay there and clear it and stuff. As soon as I can, I just go main and I just look to see when am I okay to go up here. And that depends like what they have again. Like if someone can go on you there, you can risk it anyway, of course, but I don't like doing it. So, but then at some point you go here and you go over here. And that's where you want to be, even though it's cover-wise, it's not great either. So again, it depends what they have. If they have Widow and stuff, you don't just grapple here like an idiot. You need to play it a bit differently and try to pick her off, or try to at least figure out where she is and everything. But then if they have something that can't contest you there in the situation, or it can't shoot you here, then you don't care that you don't have the cover, and you just need to go here and you need to kill someone here, or you need to like force them all to go in there or to go all the way back. And then if you really fucked, you either you go back or you drop down here. And being here is also really nice, even though it's a lot more heroes can get to you because they don't need to go up. But this is even better for like souls and stuff to be here and to be here. For Widow, I don't know, being here, it feels like you're a bit too close. You don't want to like be this close to everything. But so yeah, generally when I play this map, it goes through that phase. You start there, you like force them out here, so you have the opportunity to get in here. Or it might not even be here, it might also be here. This is also nice to just shoot here because you have that whole angle.
Over there.
Okay, so that's basically like all I really think I care to say about this point. There's of course like 100 other like places you could go and things you could try to do and everything. I don't think I do a lot of hook shots here for the attack. I don't think it's so powerful like that. Of course, if they have Widow standing there and you like try to catch them, I don't know, if you just want to do it from here and stuff, you can decide for yourself. But the general idea is to advance it like that. And then when you cap, this is like the important part, because of course you have a few options. It depends a little bit where they are. But I say 9 out of 10 times I rush to go here as fast as I can. Put a mine here, and then you need to peek this, because someone will inevitably have died kind of late. Or someone will be walking back from here, or they will be walking back from over there on the right. And you sit here, you get a kill. I don't know if I want to say 9 out of 10 times, but it's like, it's really, 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 really good and important to get a kill here. Because like, yeah, it's such a powerful like position like that, and a lot of people don't respect it enough. And yeah, if you're on the other side, you have to be really careful for that. And then at some point, inevitably, it moves on, and then you can't really like go here and stuff, because you kind of can't escape from that. I don't like really proceeding there unless some weird circumstances where you can like push really far forward. Then I go back here, and the fight is usually happening somewhere here. But if they're already here, I don't like staying here. Then I would prefer like to. I mean, you can stay there. It always depends what they have. But then you can also just go here. But yeah, as with everything, it always all depends on what they have and stuff. But I'll just assume that you advance, and then like you try to get a pick from up there. You might go there, you might go there, depending on where they're holding, how far back they're holding and stuff, and which heroes they have. And then, which I prefer to like focus on this. The next thing you want to look to do is go here. And of course, again, if like the whole team is here, maybe you don't grapple up here like that, unless you know you have a lot of help. But this is the next thing you want to do, similar to up there. You want to like get to this corner, and you want to like hold this shit when they have to walk through there. So generally, you would want to be here when you've won the fight. They're all dead, and now we are moving the payload through this part now. This is the angle that I like having. And you can sit here for like most of the time. And if someone goes for you there, you can just, maybe you can try to fight them, but you can look to rotate to the left here. And this is, I don't know, this is more dangerous and stuff, but if you've been forced out of that, it's better than just going main and stuff. You go here and you're a bit careful maybe, but you go here and you look for something. Yeah. And so then we assume you cap this. Then again, it always depends what they have. If they have Widow, you need to be more careful. If they have like, if they have like Genji, you want to be more careful going up to a place like this. So just keep that in mind. But then I like going up here. You have a kind of a wide range of it. I think the third point here is probably the best for Widow on this map. It's quite nice. All the different variations of where you can peek, because like you can go on this and peek, and you can go on this side, and then you can just go here and all these things. But again, generally you want to like find whatever from up there or from here that can help you advance, and then eventually you want to have this, and you want to have your mine either there or there. It depends what they have. If you think someone will continue from there, you maybe put it there, but probably better to have it here so that they walk into it no matter what. But that's like for the situation as well. And so what I like to do here is actually always peek like this. Not always, but I mean, you vary. Either you peek here or you peek like normally, but especially if you have to like go multiple times to try to kill a Widow. But this usually like is less. I think people expect that less. But yeah, then you just look to hold this. In my experience, there's not that many other good options like this. Like, you're not gonna go over there. You're not gonna like sit on the corner. Again, it always depends like where the fight is taking place, but generally you want to get up here, hold this, and then it makes it hell for them as long as it's possible. And then of course eventually it's not possible. Your team will have died and stuff, and you fall back and everything. But yeah, and even like generally if you kind of win here and you take the fight really far, I don't see the point of going here too often anyway, because it's just the cover is just worse, and the angle for this is just worse, and you kind of want to end here, I think, unless like you get the payload all the way there. You just need to kill the last people, and you like can't shoot them because they're going out that door. Sometimes I think it's better to go back to main rather than go here, because then you get too close. So you go back to main to finish it. But you always got to be like, this is a mistake I know I make personally a lot, is you have some kind of safe position like this, you don't really need to advance it more. You just need to hold this, and you just need to keep getting your value. And you just need to keep shooting people in your LOS, and that's how you get the value. So you don't need to like get even closer to and risk someone like some Genji like dashing on you and like one-shotting you. So yeah, I would end it like that. Now let's go to the defense. For the defense, generally I try to never show myself on their defense like this before the round. I try to always hide before, so they don't know I'm here, because that's not at all specific to King's Row, but anytime you play Widow, you don't want them to know that you're playing Widow, because it just, if they don't know, then they just, it dramatically increases the chance that someone is like not ready for you to be a Widow. And so, especially at the beginning, I don't like to show myself. And what I like to do here, I like to sit here and look. That's why I think I always say this is like the only pay to win thing in the game is like the sitting emote, because you can stay somewhere and look around the corner. Of course, it's risky. I have died here where some ball just flies across the map and kills me instantly. But you sit here just to see, look at the top spawn door. Do they have Widow? Do they have Pharah? Do they have Genji? Because if they have Widow, you need to be careful and not, I would say, not peek until she's dropped. Because if she stays there and you peek here, it's like, I don't think generally on defense you want to be a bit more passive and like take advantage of the fact that you have some better position, but you need to like be aware that if you die, it's like more expensive than if she dies, because your spawn is a bit further away. And so yeah, I sit here until I see that there is no Widow, or until I see that the Widow has gone out. And then what I will do is, depending on what they have, if they have Pharah and stuff, you need to try to catch her before she like knows you're here. That's what I like to do. Pharah, Echo, whatever, Freya even, and yeah, and even someone on the bus or something that you can catch, like surprise them. And then I just like very fast hookshot from here and see if I can get someone. It's not the most successful one, but it's like, I think it's worth doing for, sometimes you catch someone like a Hanzo running around the bus or whatever, some support sitting next to the bus. Then I generally, the way I play it is just, I go back here and I just sit here and peek and hookshot from here. And then depending on what they have and stuff, I just rotate between these different positions, right? Going back here is always, well, not always, but I mean, it can always be risky. So it's not, I don't recommend doing that too much, but generally you want to be here the most, but you can't always just stay here, because then eventually you just get spammed by something or whatever. If they have like any Hanzo, Sen, Widow, anything like that, they will eventually Soch, they will probably shoot you. So you do that. And then the important thing here as well is, in my opinion at least, I always say that Venomine is quite underrated, and having it in place like this, where they can't see it on the way in, is really powerful against heroes like Genji and Tracer and stuff, because it just makes you able to win that 1v1 a lot, or at least force their cooldown and get away. And so I have it there, and it's really important also to place it before, so you can place one more, because what will often happen here is some flanker, Genji, even like, it can even be Soch here and stuff, anything that goes here, they'll walk into that first, and by that point you'll try to stay aware of that, and you'll be walking back, and then you place another one either on this wall or here, and this way, like, you make it really, really difficult for them. You have to think that if they get hit by both of these, it's 250 damage. So you like, no matter how it happens, if the first one forces the CD and they go anyway, then you win the 1v1. Or if they walk into both, and then maybe they just die. You know, you just keep in mind that you want, it's really important in a place like this to kind of play this 1v1 well and use those to your advantage. And then of course you play this sometimes, and it depends how far up is the enemy team, how like this or that, right? And if someone chases you, of course you can kite all the way here, and usually here is where you can get help from your supports if someone is not playing up there. Yeah. And then I mean, I don't think it's very good to stay here too much. Like if you're here, you've probably already lost so much of the map that you're just gonna lose this point, and it's because that means that all of this is like they've already taken that, and that's just generally not good for you. So you want to like play around that up there, and then if you have to play here at some point, of course you have to play here if you're forced out. But that's how it is. So then when you lose this, the general like the main spot, I would say, is here. This is the obvious place to be, and you play from here. You can shoot them in there. You can shoot them on that corner. You can shoot them in the window and stuff, and you can grapple from here. This is also just pretty nice in general. Depending on whether you like you've lost it but you've lived, and so you hold close, then of course you might have gone from here. But if you've like lost it before and you've all come back from spawn, then the grapple I always do is like on this thing to go here and shoot them, and that's also, it has decent hit rate, I think. So that's good one to do. And so before we go further back, if you end up holding quite close here, if you end up like wiping the enemy team, of course you can go up there, or this angle is really good, I think, to go here and catch someone here. This is like a really good spot to catch someone. If they're all walking out, they're not always super aware of this, and that's really strong. Whereas this is nice to go here sometimes, but it's like if you're basically spawn camping them, it's nice, but you can die here. Like someone is just hiding here, some Genji, whatever it is, you know. So that's a bit dangerous, but otherwise, yeah, I mainly play from up there, grapple there, and go in there and look for a pick. And then if you get pushed further back, it's always a bit awkward, this kind of phase, because you can't really like playing here. What good does that do? And if you play there, you just kind of can't get out and stuff. So then I think the next thing becomes peeking here, seeing if you can catch some here. But it's like quite tight, and it's not great for that. You might do a mine like that if someone's going on you from there. I wouldn't say I have a feeling that I get so many picks from here at all. I think it's not the most successful. So yeah, eventually you just end up at some point where you might even play up here. If they're like about to cap, then I don't see that this is so bad to stay up here. You're basically unreachable, and the thing that you can see is kind of useful. It's not nothing. So eventually, when they're close to capping, you just play back here. You just go up there if you need, you know. The last point defense. I like doing this mine. It depends what they have, of course. Like the mines are a whole thing on its own. Like I can make, if someone's interested in that, I can make videos with that on every map, I guess. But the general principle for me is always just place it like on the inside of some wall where they have to walk into it to get to you from that like entrance to it. But yeah, when you lose here, you can of course like stay up here for a bit. I think I would usually do that, because this is usually the last place I would be before losing it. So then I would just go back and play like here, this corner, and look for one more pick. Stay as long as I can until I'm like one, or until I don't want to peek again because they have Widow or whatever, or until someone goes on me, and then I drop back here, and then I go back up here. And then I would say this is like the kind of the default place that you would like to be for this. Most of this defense on this point. Again, it always depends how far are they, where are we holding, how far up are we holding, because it's nice to be here. If it depends like who is taking that, and is my team defending that and everything, I might a lot of the time put a mine there, literally on the floor there. It doesn't matter, it could be there as well, but just on the floor, so that, because they don't really see it before they go up anyway. So that helps if some Genji tries to set up by going up here before going on you, then that can help. But and also helps if they have Widow that goes up there, and Hans or everything that wants to go up there. you can like go back on this and go quite far down, or you can go basically under this and have very limited angle, so that if you're like scared of some widow with sides or something, you can like kind of peek but not just give yourself away. Of course, then the thing I want to also mention that's important here is if you've wiped them or like you're holding quite close, the really nice thing to do here is to come to this door, and you probably like, I think most people have been stuck on this point where some widow is sitting here. This is really nice. Like you sit here, I mean you can have mine here as well, exact same thing. Sit here for however long you like dare, and then you can go back. You can have a shot here before you leave, and then you just go back up there. Same shit again. Then if you like hold here and you wipe them like even more, then I like going here, and then you have, I guess you have like 3 angles here. You have here, and you have like here, and you have here. Either one will do. I think it's just always nice to vary which you like choose, or you just peek once at one of them and once in another, whatever it is. You go here, but then you just try to make sure that you don't stay too long, because suddenly it has been too long and you're gonna die if you don't go back. So, and then I would go back up here, for example, or I would just go back to there. Depends a little bit what they have and stuff. But yeah. And I think the last thing I want to say, I mean, you can sit back here, of course. I don't feel like I do it that much. I guess I do, but generally you want to advance it a little bit more, I think. There's also going here, but again, this is like, usually you will expose yourself a bit too much here, because if they're so far back, then I don't know, I'd just rather be up there where you can see more. And yeah, but there's a little thing going here as well. You can consider that, but yeah. I like to then, when it's like overtime and I'm like and I don't want to switch to a stall hero, or like, to be honest, sometimes I think Widow is a good hero for overtime, because you getting the pick is the way. Like if they're all pushing and we need to basically just stall, staying Widow is one of the few ways you can like make an opening. So I don't think it's like troll to stay Widow. And then I like going out left, because most people go out right. Left, I mean, stuff is a bit further away. It just creates a bit more of like a chance that you pick off some support, because they like to play in that area. And yeah, there's that area or there's like that. And then even sometimes you go up here if you just need to do some YOLO play to contest a Widow up here or something. You can do that. But otherwise I generally go to that door and shoot whatever I can shoot. Yeah, and I think that's all for this map. So let me know if you think it's useful to go through it like this. I see I already spent like quite a long time yapping about it. I have so many more things to say about stuff like this, about playing Widow on different maps. And like I can do this for every map, or I can change the format a bit. So you just let me know in the comments if you think this is good, or if you think there's some other idea that something else you'd like to see. Let me know, and I'll see if I can do it, or else I can do more of this. So yeah, thank you for watching.